Well, it's a nice frosty sunny morning, and I just thought I'd go down onto the old railway line for the first time this year, because it's been like a quagmire down there up to now. So wet, but as it's cold it should be hard and dry, so let's go and see. Don't think I've ever shown anything as trivial as a football field before, but this is Tetbury's football, I use the word advisedly, with the feet, field under frost. Rather nice. There isn't any wind. It is a lovely day, as I've said before, but the road is wet, damp, because they've been chucking the salt down on it. And I'm afraid I don't subject my motorbikes to salt. Yeah, what a nice wintry scene this is. No snow yet this year, but nice frosty morning. No sign of the alpacas this morning. Maybe they're keeping warm somewhere. But I can hear the sound of the source of the River Avon, which is right here. The River Avon that goes down to Bath and Bristol. Doesn't this look beautiful? You may be able to hear the young River Avon just trickling down to collect at the bottom. Sun hasn't reached this place yet. There we have the young River Avon. And although the river is joined by this, what seems, well, it is a larger river, the actual source of the Avon comes out right here and starts where I showed you just now. Now looking downstream of these frozen berries on this tree. It's lovely down here this morning. Nothing to hear except the twittering of the birds. Hardly anyone around. Is that a lovely place to live or what? Very quiet, with their own little bridge. As I walk further and further up here, you do get a bit of road noise, unfortunately, because the old railway line sort of gets closer to the road, but it's still safe, quiet, hardly anyone here. Well, I've met one guy jogging and that's it. That being said, I've just had an excitable dog jump all over me, and not that I mind that, especially on a day like this when the ground is hard. If it had been last week, it would have been a slightly different matter, but then I wouldn't have been down here, so that's all hypothetical. 3 big trees down. Obviously the winds we had around the end of December, from what I remember. crossing the road to go down to the last bit up to the Troublehouse Inn. Plane in the sky. Don't think I've mentioned before, but Tetbury in this area of Gloucestershire is under a pretty significant air corridor. We have planes flying over us all the time, and not just from Heathrow and Gatwick. Aircraft like to fly over land as much as possible, and going from all over the world as such, follow, as most of us know, great circle routes. And most of the planes that fly over here are flying over at 35,000 feet, so there's generally no noise. But it's quite surprising to see planes not only coming from, as I say, from Heathrow, but and obviously the other way, coming across the Atlantic, but also from places much further afield in Asia. Being the anal type that I am, I get my plane finder app up occasionally to see where people are flying to and from. My favourite tunnel of trees. I'm just hoping we're going to get some snow on this before the winter's out, because that would look nice. Just crossing this normally busy road at the Troublehouse Inn, and I'm going to go across the fields behind, hoping that the present Mrs. Little will come and collect me, because I'm not walking back the same way. Just thought it might be a nice idea to cross these fields in winter. I've been through here in all other seasons, but you do have to pick your time, because as you can see, you could end up with a ton of mud on your boots. In about 3 months' time, the bluebells will be making a wonderful display here in this little bit of woodland. Well, at least this lot's a lot cleaner, not quite as muddy, and I can hear people slaughtering pheasants in the background. Actually, just as I'm walking along here, it was completely still, and now you may see the wind has picked up, which makes it feel a bit colder. Just coming to the end of the off-road bit. So now I'm going to be back on the road. Get some of the mud off my boots anyway. Sheep may safely graze. Peaceful sound, other than the occasional sound of a gun, an aircraft having taken off from Kemble, and a chainsaw. Other than that, even the sheep aren't making a sound. Here, as I hear the regular service from Brussels to Dallas overhead, reminds me that I should have said earlier that one of the reasons why we are under an air corridor is the number of airfields on the ground here, including Fairford, one of the oldest and longest, and it was actually the site for the space shuttle to land had it needed to here. And then we have Kemble, Bristol, and then over into Wales, Cardiff, and then across into Ireland we have Dublin and Shannon before the aircraft head out over the Atlantic. So it's a safety thing as much as anything. Somebody's going to contradict me, I know. Lovely sound of birds just here. So if anybody is now totally bored stiff, feel free to turn off, because I'm just about to join my regular walk, and I hope that the present Mrs. Little hasn't forgotten to get me, because my phone battery has died. Bit of black ice here too. She arrived, so home for some coffee. Thanks for watching, guys, as usual, tolerating my old nonsense.